Welcome. I'm Celia Hatton with a summary of the BBC World News. Votes are being cast in the first round of the French presidential election, which is the most unpredictable for decades. 11 candidates are vying to be the country's next president, with leading candidates spanning the political spectrum from far left to far right. France is under especially tight security since a policeman was killed during an attack in central Paris on Thursday. One of the first people to vote today said that security concerns shouldn't put people off.
I wanted to be here, the first one to come to vote. And as a woman, you know, we are 52% of women voting in Paris. And I wanted to show that there's no problem of security. And we are in Paris. It's a nice weather. We are again in a nice park. And it's very quiet and calm. And it's a balade to come here to vote. And we must do it.
The South Korean news agency Yonhap says a third U.S. citizen has been arrested in North Korea as tensions in the region remain high. It says the Korean-American man, identified only by his surname, Kim, was held on Friday at Pyongyang airport. Two other U.S. citizens, a pastor and a college student, were detained last year. They were found guilty of what North Korea calls subversive acts against the country. The BBC's Steve Evans is in South Korea.
Firstly, a health warning, and that is that this is only coming from the South Korean media. It's not coming from any official source. We are told that he's in his 50s, that he's an academic with a US passport, but who's spent some time in China, and that he was in North Korea for about a month helping with relief projects. There are actually quite a lot of foreigners who go to North Korea. And the deal is always that they don't get involved, for example, in Christian missionary work, so that some of the people who get arrested fall foul of that. With this particular gentleman, we simply don't know what the true situation is. We don't know if he's simply been stopped at the airport on his way out because of the current heightened tension, or whether he's been accused of falling foul of some aspect of North Korean law. North Korea does hold people and use them for political purposes, though not invariably with the Americans they've arrested. But you think of that situation where Kim Jong-un's brother, half-brother, was murdered in Kuala Lumpur, what was it, a month ago? And the suspects were in the North Korean embassy in the Malaysian city, and Malaysians were held in Pyongyang. When the North Korean diplomats were let go, the Malaysians were released. So it would not be unprecedented for North Korea to hold somebody for some kind of ulterior political purpose.
Steve Evans in Seoul. In other news, a day of national mourning is being observed in Afghanistan for the victims of the Taliban attack on a military base close to Mazar-e-Sharif. Dozens of soldiers were killed when militants, wearing army uniforms, opened fire on a canteen and outside a mosque. The European Parliament's Brexit coordinator, Guy Verhofstadt, has said Theresa May's decision to call a snap British election is an attempt to secure more years in power before the realities of leaving the EU begin to bite. Mr. Verhofstadt said it was nonsense to think that the election would guarantee her a better deal. Pope Francis has urged governments to release migrants from holding centres because he said many were becoming like concentration camps. He praised countries which were helping migrants, particularly Italy and Greece. The Pope's comments came as he met refugee families in a Roman church. The leader of Britain's main opposition Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, has refused to confirm that Labour will renew the country's Trident nuclear deterrent if it wins next month's general election. Mr. Corbyn said that a future Labour government would review its options, but made sure that Britain played its part in international peacekeeping operations. And record numbers of runners are taking part in this year's London Marathon, which passes some of the city's most famous landmarks. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Harry waved off competitors on the start line. The royal trio have become the face of this year's marathon after their mental health campaign, Heads Together, was selected as its official charity. More than 40,000 people registered for the event, which is now in its 37th year. Don't forget, you can get in touch with me and most of the team on Twitter. I'm @Celia Hatton. Bye-bye for now.